Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to your early morning intuitive guidance. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum. Here are some words of wisdom to start your day off well and give you something to think about and talk about. And it is raining here. So I think we have rain scheduled for the next 3 or 4 days. So I might build an ark. We'll see. So we'll give it a minute here for everybody to start popping on. And today we have a card from the Wild Offering deck, which I always like those because they're very uplifting and positive. Good morning to whomever just popped on. Glad you are here. Gwen, good morning. Welcome. You're our first contestant today. Yay. So before I forget, good morning, Barb. Welcome. Glad you are here. Hello. You have ice. Okay. Yeah, we just have rain, but it's rain. Lots of it. So perfect my backstroke later. Good morning, Nancy. Welcome. Everyone's starting to roll in, all the practical rebels. This is good. So I want to say this, and hopefully I'll remember to say it again at the end. Tomorrow I am headed for Milwaukee for a conference and need to be out the door at butt crack 30. So I'm either going to be doing YEMIG earlier than usual, which I'm not sure what time that would be, maybe 5:30 Central Time, or I will be skipping tomorrow. Kind of depends on how it goes when I get up. We'll see. But, so there may not be a YEMIG for tomorrow. If not, go back and watch one of the previous ones. Just pick one out. Let your heart lead you to whichever one you're meant to listen to again. And then on Friday, I'll be back with all kinds of news, hopefully. So I'm excited about this conference. This will be good. So I think today is a day when we need to go back over our invoking divine right timing and divine right order, because it also fits with our card for today, which is a Tosha card. But so let's start with some breath and some tapping. So pick a spot. This is always my favorite. Breathe in. Breathe out. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Good morning, Miss Abigail. Glad you are here. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Just enjoying the feeling of the breath. Coming in, flowing out. Pick your own pace. In, out. And this one, let's hold at the top. Breathe in and out. Awesome. Grounded, centered, fully present. And now we're going to do our statements. So call and response for invoking divine right timing and divine right order. Today the divine will show me the way. I am open to all signs and messages. The perfect steps are already picked, and I am guided to them. Moving through the world open to constant help gets easier and easier with practice. Yay! Awesome. So, as I said, we have a card from the Wild Offering deck by Tosha Silver with all those pretty flowers, which is Katie Daisy art. And this one, I really like the colors, and I really like the floral along the bottom. I just think that's really lovely. And we have little bees at the top. And our word for today is money. Money is not a swear word. The love of money is not a swear word. The love of money to the exclusion of humanity, that's a problem. That's a problem. When we're prioritizing money over people, not cool. Money's merely an energy that we can use or misuse or abuse. And when we are good stewards of money, notice I didn't say of our money, it's borrowed stuff. The same with land. Everyone likes to say, this is my land, my property. And I kind of laugh. 500 years from now, is it going to be your land? No. Good morning, Jodiel. Glad you are here. We're temporary borrowers. We're temporary stewards. Temporary stewards. I like that. I like that better. How well are we taking care of Mother Earth and her resources? Her resources. We get to borrow, and hopefully we use them responsibly. To date, we've had some issues with that, but there's always opportunity for insight and change, right? So, there's our card, money. Let's take a breath, because some of you probably even had a reaction to the word itself, right? Take a breath. Let it go. There's a wonderful book by Maria Nemeth called The Energy of Money. Read that book decades ago, and the principles still are with me. It's the idea that we can have, I don't know why the word walking is coming up, but a walking relationship with money. We walk alongside money. Money is a companion. Money is a resource. Money in and of itself is neither good nor bad. What do we choose to do with it? What do we choose to do with it? Okay? So here's the card itself, and then we'll see what else comes to mind. Money. All my finances are now in divine order. Love itself knows my needs and is the source for all. I needn't cling to gain or fear loss. I need to say that one again. I needn't cling to gain or fear loss. Every need will be met through offering all to the divine. And there are going to be those, good morning, Carolyn, glad you're here, welcome. There are going to be those who are saying, you're nuts, lady. I have to monitor my money every day. I have to keep track. I have to pinch every penny. I have to, all the things. Interesting to note that people who have less tend to be more generous than people who have more. What do you think the difference is there? I'll tell you what I think. I think people who've had less are used to allowing the universe to provide for what they need. They still do what they need to do a job, get a paycheck, blah, 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 spend in fiscally responsible ways. But as we learned from Offer All to the Divine and All My Needs Will Be Met, yes, we still show up. We still do things like work a job and get a paycheck, or open to receiving, or whatever it is, or selling things we no longer need. Move them along. Move them along. We don't need to keep stuff that isn't serving us. And each of us gets to decide what is serving us. That was a theme for yesterday, was the moving things out that we no longer need. In fact, there's a young woman in town, she and I exchange energetic services, and it was her turn to receive yesterday. And she was telling me that her son was going on a trip with family members, and she had rented a dumpster. She's rented a dumpster, and she's cleaning out all that no longer serves her. I'm so proud of her. I just think that's the coolest thing, right? And because it's of that magnitude, a dumpster, what are you going to want to do? Fill it up. Fill it up. You're paying for it, right? You want to fill it up. So I just think that was a cool way to signal the universe, I'm ready to move past this old stuff and open myself to receiving just what I need. Just what I need. How many people right now are incredibly freaked out about the potential for Social Security funds to be diverted? I'm hearing it from a lot of clients. They're afraid. We don't want to operate in fear. We want to do the things that we can do to take good care of what is rightfully ours, but we don't want to panic and freak out. And it's kind of like when the stock market gets volatile. Those who have money in it, the people who shoot themselves in the foot, are the ones who tend to react to what's going on with it. Yes, I understand. It's fearful times. Absolutely. Good morning, Maureen. Glad you're here. But to take your stuff out when things go down and then buy back in when things are up is exactly the opposite of what's a good plan, right? That's a fear-based plan. That's a fear-based plan, and it does not serve us well. Does not serve us well. So how do we reframe ourselves as good stewards for what we do have, and in being good stewards for what we do have, opening the door for whatever we need to come in? And that doesn't mean we don't ever get anything we want also, because yep, the decluttering can be complicated when you have other people in the house. What I suggest to people that they do is you declutter your own stuff. Declutter your own stuff. And if the other person is unwilling to get on board with decluttering their stuff, you at least negotiate what areas of the house their things are going to be. And you're not going to go there. So maybe the garage ends up being a mess, but there needs to be enough room for your vehicle. Or the spare bedroom ends up being where they hoard all their stuff, or the basement, or whatever. I had one poor client whose husband still had all of the pizza delivery tickets from every pizza he had delivered in high school. They weren't his pizzas. He was delivering them to other people, but he couldn't let go of those tickets. So yeah, it can be very difficult when you're sharing space with somebody. How do we navigate this respectfully? It was just your stuff. Got it. It happens. It happens. Do the best you can with what you have. Especially look around. Is there someone you could bless with some of the things you're going to release? I'll just give you some examples. Has your niece always expressed a love for one of the 3 sets of fine china that you have? Yours, your aunt's, and your mother's, right? Do we need 3 sets? If you love china, absolutely go for it. But if someone has expressed that they love something that you have that you're ready to part with, gift it to them. Gift it to them. Absolutely. Yes. Let other people deal with their own stuff, because it can be a thing someone hangs on to for a long time. I had another client whose husband cleaned out her stuff, including some very important stuff to her from childhood. I don't think that has ever been addressed well. So we want to and need to deal with our own stuff, be the steward of our own stuff. And again, sometimes others can get on board. Wow, this looks really great, what you cleaned out. Maybe I'll clean out some of my own stuff. Wonderful. Sometimes not. Sometimes not. But again, focus on your own stuff. As AA would say, clean in front of your own front door. Not taking anybody else's inventory. Because energetically, when you're dealing with your own stuff, that's what moves heaven and earth, right? If you're dealing with someone else's stuff, that's not really moving heaven and earth. Yeah, and it's your stuff, so you get to decide, and you can have conversations with him about that. Like, what does that mean to him when you part with things? It'll be interesting to see what connections he's making around that. Who knows? Who knows? But again, when we shift our gears, especially in dicey times, when there's lots of fear being mongered all over the place, and husband is just the opposite, not fun. Yes, absolutely so. Absolutely so. But negotiate. Negotiate. Have a conversation. Don't make him wrong. Don't make him the bad guy. Just indicate, we have 2 different styles here. My style is organization. Your style is free-flowing. Can we negotiate some things? I'll give you, for instance, the kitchen to me really needs to be pristine. Could we agree that at least the kitchen can be organized? Negotiate. See what you can come up with. Don't make anybody wrong, though. There's different ways of being. There's lots of different ways of being. Living here with my father and my sister at the moment, it's interesting. We don't function the same at all. And so negotiation has to happen. And to not negotiate, to just bite your tongue, doesn't work in the long run. Because it gets to the point where then you blow up over something like the cap's left off the toothpaste, right? So, and for myself, I really do like living alone. Alone is way up there on my list because then I can have things exactly as I like them, right? And again, my idea with the pocket neighborhood is then I have people really close to me and I can be really good friends with all, but I get to go home to my own space. We'll see. We'll see how it unfolds. Anyway, so we needn't cling to gain. We needn't fear loss. And I'll give you an example that to me spoke to my heart. The young woman and her husband whose vehicle was a POS had an impact on him being able to get to work appropriately. So when I got my new car, I gave them my old car. What did they immediately do? Pass their POS onto someone who had an even worse POS. They could have sold it. They probably could have gotten $500 for it. And they didn't do that. They gifted someone else. They gifted someone else. So, less is better. Yes, absolutely. And I have some, I mean, we've been dealing with this for 5 years since, well, it's almost 6 years since my mom died. And we still haven't cleared everything out, which is okay for right now because we're here taking care of Dad anyway. But, yeah, all the things. If you can gift your children with the things they want earlier in the process and then let go of all the other stuff that it really doesn't matter about, that it could be a couple of Vinny runs and done, your children will love you for that. So, think about this. Oh, here comes my sister and the dog in the rain with the umbrella up and the little flashing light so everybody can see them. Yeah. So, have an awesome day. Make this the best Wednesday ever. And think about your stewardship of money. And where could you be more generous? And what could you let go of? And are you open to drawing in what's meant to come your way? Right? So, have an awesome Wednesday. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are. Hello, Beth. The repeat will be up in 2 minutes. Bye-bye.